just thought I'd show you this. This is the pulley that I put together. So this is the first one, so we're putting it on. It's not been galvanised, just so that we can put it on and make sure it doesn't end up creating another problem. So that's the ring cut in half. So the rope will come up through there. So yeah, it's turned out not so bad. So go and drop it off, put it on, make sure it doesn't create other problems that then have to sort out. And once we're sure it's right, then there's another 10 to make this time, probably more in the future. So yeah, go and get that dropped off. Afternoon everyone, I hope everyone's well. I'm just on with this Ovalert board, or Ovalert. It's trying to track my face. Oh, that's impressive. I've turned face tracking on, and so now it's trying to track my face rather than look at the board. And I'll flip it around so I can do. This is the third box that I've got, but everything's fitted in. So that's the 4G router, that's the cable to the external aerial. So that's the external 4G aerial that when it gets to where it's been put in, they can put that wherever they want to get the strongest signal. That's all, both power supplies are in here. So that's the power supply for that and the power supply for that, all coming out on this cable here. So they just have one plug to plug it in. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is turn it on and see what happens. These are the 3D printed stands for the router to basically stand it in the box at an angle so you can see those lights, but I haven't ended up needing them because they don't fit, and because everything's so tight in there anyway, because of where everything's got to go, nothing's going to move anyway, so that's not so bad. So yeah, we will plug it in and see what happens. I'll have a bit of a tidy up, and then I'll need to get my laptop out and plug it into this to then set this up. So we'll have a bit of a sort out before we turn it on. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good. Those are the lights that I wanted to be able to see through the lid. So when it's like that, they can see they've got 4G, they've got wireless LAN, and that's the signal strength for the 4G. So I've got this up and running now. So I'm just going to do a speed test to see how fast it is. In fairness, the laptop's quite old, so it's quite steady. So that's not so bad. That's download, and that's through that aerial. And that's upload as well, which is quick enough for this job. So you can set it how often it transfers data, and it doesn't use a lot of data, to be fair. It'll never use that much, to be fair. So I haven't plugged that in. I'd unplugged the Ovalert itself, so we'll plug that in now and watch it start up. It's got a light at this end and a light at that end, so the blue light at this end flashes like a throbbing pulse when it's just doing its normal thing, when it's happy. It flashes quickly when there's something wrong, when there's an error on the system, and then this one is a red one that is an attention, when there's a cow that needs attention, just to highlight the fact you need to look at the software. So it's just booting up there. Takes a bit for it to get going. So that light now is just quietly doing its thing. It'll have also picked this collar up. So that's a collar that goes on the cow. And that's the bit with all the clever stuff in. Accelerometers and various different sensors that help it know what to do. So the number on the end of that one, 551, when it picks it up will appear on here to show that it's picked it up. So I brought this one just to test that it was IDing properly. what we'll do now is you press this button and it'll come up with an IP address. Right, so now I'll go to here. Hopefully it'll come up with, oh, that's unhelpful. Yes, it's come up with a login page for the Ovalert. Log in, and we're on. So there's a few screens to run through just to get it up and running. There we go. That is it working. And eventually it will pick up that collar and it'll appear on here as unknown animals. So I've just got to sort all this out. Random jobs. Sort the time zone out. No, that's not right. I'll try using the date from the PC. Although in fairness, I don't think that's right. No, that's not right either. So actually, it wasn't that far out with where it was before. Computer time's wrong. So I'll sort that out. So I've got it all set up now. I've still got a few things here. I don't know why that time zone won't disappear. I've reset it. I've reset it different ways and it's still not having it. So this is what I want to show you. That is that collar. So that there is the long number on this collar when I looked earlier. So that's basically saying it's got full strength, signal strength, which you'd hope since it's right next to it. One thing I keep forgetting to say, this is the aerial that picks up the signal from the collars. So that's why this is on the board. That's what's collecting the data and then feeding it into there. So what I've also done is I've set up access remotely. If we type in the address, which is, I forgot what it was. So this basically means you can get onto it anywhere in the world. So I'm now into it as if I am CRV. Instead of being, I was in a service before, which when you're connected directly to it through that cable is possible, but you can't do that unless you've got that cable in, which isn't feasible. So now I could go on to this anywhere in the world. And if I can I'll show you by doing it on my phone, to be fair. So that's it on my phone now. So I'm just putting the username and password, and if we go to there, it should come up. So that's exactly the same screen as what I'm seeing on the computer, but obviously now I'm doing it as if I was anywhere in the world. So yeah, job's a good one. So I've just got this to tidy up and put the lid back on the front of that. I'm just going to tidy up the board around the outside, and that is ready to go. Only thing I haven't got is a SIM card. I'm using my own SIM card in this router at the moment. I have this thing here, which is mighty handy. Basically a EE 4G box, and the amount of times that's come in useful is surprising, to be fair. I've had it for years. So I need to see what they want to do about that. I'd rather they sent me a SIM card and I put it in and tested it before it left. But if they want to put a SIM card in themselves, that's absolutely fine as well. So yeah, a bit of tidying it up, and yeah, we'll just need to tidy up this edge around here, and then yeah, it's good to go. So yeah, success. I did set off with a camera, videoing me doing what I was doing, this one, and I had it set up there like that, watching me. But sadly the battery didn't last, and it stopped working, which does beg the question, I don't know what other people do. I struggle with technology, which is one of the reasons why I stopped doing videos for a bit, because I was struggling to be able to do them, to get the footage I wanted. And I can't really do it on my phone because I need my phone, because people ring me and I have to answer. So I have that little camera, which is it's an action, what is it? Osmo Action, DJI Osmo Action, which is really good, but trying to get a battery to last is hard work. And then I have this gimbal thing, which is another DJI thing, which is really good. But yeah, I've always wondered how other people do YouTube videos and do it in a way that is easy, because I seem to make hard work of it, which is quite like a lot of things. But anyway, yes, so if anyone's got any tips of how to making YouTube videos easy and quick, then I'm all ears. I do now do it on my iPad, so I download the footage off these two devices into my iPad, but that then creates a problem because of storage space. Soon get filled up, but it is quite easy to edit on there. So yeah, like I said, anyone got any tips or tricks or how to make things easier, I'm all ears. I've just finished the board with the demo unit on, and just to tidy it up, I've just been round the edge of the plywood that we put on and like sealed it with this stuff. This is the same stuff that goes on trailers floors, the trailer floors of like Ife Williams trailers, is that stuff. So I've just been round to seal it up, really, stop any muck getting in, moisture getting in, and try and make it last as long as possible. But there's nothing more to do on that now, it's done. Just waiting on whether they want me to put a SIM card in before I send it down to them. But what I did realise was I haven't talked about this table. So last year I built this, which is meant to be a cheap, very cheap fixture table for welding on. So we knew that the table we were welding on, that is actually underneath this, wasn't flat in more than one direction. So I wanted to try and test out how useful a fixture table is before I went and committed to buying one, because they're quite a lot of money and I like the idea of them, but I just wanted to try it out. So I made this, which is basically 4 of those that way and then a load of bits that way, all spaced out in such a way that you can get the clamps. So any of the clamps we have, just go through and clamp stuff in place. And I tried really hard to get it flat, but it is actually bowed that way. It's straight that way, but it's actually bowed like that. But it's better than what we had, and it is surprisingly handy. Things like the vices now just clamp to it, so if we want to take the vice off to get the full use of the table, 3 bolts undo and it's off. So yeah, and then we've got somewhere to store all the clamps. And if we need a bit more or something, we just pull that out. But eventually it would be nice to have a proper fixed table, because they are dead flat and this isn't quite dead flat. It's good enough, but I'd like it to be better. So yeah, it was a way of getting a cheap fixture table and seeing how useful they were. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing. Then you'll get to see more of what we're up to in the next few weeks. There's a fair bit to go at, and as always, there's a bit of variety as well. Yeah, plenty to go at.